Alright everybody, welcome back to JC tutorial videos. Today we're going to go ahead and cover the new release of the EC-135 police variant. So what we're going to cover today is going to be what's new on the police variant. Okay, if you're looking at videos on how to fly, how to start up the 135, we have a different set of videos for that, so make sure you go and check that out real quick. We're going to go ahead and go, no, not away. We don't want to be away. Unavailable. And I'm going to send everybody to my auto response. Yeah, we are awake again. Alright, so we're going to cover everything with the police variant only. Everything else, if you're looking for on how to fly the 135, how to start up the 135, make sure you check out the other videos for that. I'll include a link in the bottom of the description here. So one thing I do want to point out real quick, because I've already had a couple of people ask if I'm planning on making free paints for this, which I always do. I'm going to tell you that this time we went around and we loaded those into the aircraft. So this one's going to come with 4 different default. Is our default variant, the blue, the SWAT, and the ATF are my free paints to you guys that are loaded right into this aircraft, so that you can go ahead and have those. Don't have to worry about losing any of the paint cans, because I keep getting people asking to redeliver some paint cans for you guys. So this time those free ones are loaded right there. So here's ATF. So those are those 3 free paints. We're gonna go back to blue because it's pretty. Alright, so the first thing you may notice is that there's all kinds of crazy stuff hiding around the outside of this aircraft, and that's because we've got some cool stuff to play with. We're gonna start right here. This is the infrared camera. It is for RP purposes. It does move, it does rotate, but it doesn't actually change your camera view, because that's going to add way too many scripts in SL. Oops, there we go. Over here we have our spotlight. Again, this one will move. It will turn on a spotlight very similar to the 92. If you've ever played with that, you'll be able to control that from the back seat, which we'll show you in just a minute. Back here we have our tactical defense launcher. It's got the ability to launch gas grenades, tear gas, smoke grenades for crowd control, and flashbangs for crowd control. So one of the first things you want to do when you res out your brand new one is go ahead and click on that. You can see that the list shows that everything is empty. So we're going to go ahead and load slot 1 with a flashbang. We'll go back in the list. We're going to load slot 2 with tear gas. And we're going to load smoke into the last 4 slots. Okay, very quick, very responsive, easy to load, and smoke. And then you can click on it and you can see here slot 1's tear gas. Oh, sorry, slot 1's the flashbang, slot 2's the tear gas, and the other 4 slots are smoke grenades. So we can go ahead and close that out. On this side we do have some more RP functionality stuff over here, so just give us that look of awesomeness. Alright, so now we're going to take that first look into the back of the aircraft. As you can see, here's our control center for the back of the aircraft. Now, something that you need to know about this is it does require power. So we're going to go ahead and just flip on the battery and the generators now and let those run. Alright, if we click right here, this is the power switch for the rear console. Okay, and you'll see pretty screens come up. Look how pretty those screens are. Now, these screens are awesomeness, because if you click here, we'll turn on our GPS. There we go, our GPS is turned on. Okay, and it works very similar. It works exactly the same as all our other GPS screens. You can see there's that sky crane that we just saw flying around. We can zoom out, we can cam around, we can see all kinds of stuff. We can come back. We can also put on our overlays, the region health, which you can see, those are probably really old. Yeah, 82 minutes old. So maybe it's not a good day for flying this morning. As well as turning off traffic, seaports, NOTAMs, waypoints, and region health. So those are all things that you can do. Now, come out of that, we're going to go ahead and take a seat right here. I'm going to adjust my hover height real quick. And come back down. We'll go a little lower than 0. Remember, you can always go like this. Go edit link, click on these chairs, and here's your seating position right there. And you can change that information so that you can adjust your seating position for the elevation if you want to. Now, some things that we're going to go do here right here, we're going to go ahead and play with this camera. Okay, this is the control window for that front camera ball right there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pan it to the east. In these controls, yeah, look at that, it pans to the east. Yes, the screen spins and it's just for role play here, but these numbers are in fact accurate. So if we open up our mini map here, or these letters, so we can see that the east is to the right of the aircraft. And if we come down here and look, that camera ball is now facing to the east. Now, we can also change the declination, bring it down if we want to. So now the camera ball is looking straight down. Now, the other RP purpose of this one, or the other RP feature, if you will, is infrared, which gives you that little cool infrared look. For those of you working in roleplay communities, you now have a reason that you can use your radar during when the suspect is outside, because you have infrared capabilities. And located right here, really hard to see, is that lock button. That lock button is going to keep that camera wherever we have it pointed. So we're going to go ahead and point it down and to the east. Now if I move the helicopter, you'll see that camera rotates back onto excuse me, it rotates back onto east. And if we put it back, you'll see that it goes ahead and rotates right back to east again. Now, why is that cool? Well, in the RP camera ball, it's so-so. If we go over to this panel on the GPS screen, we flick that on, we now have control over our spotlight. And the spotlight does the exact same thing. It works exactly the same way. So we can see the pointing, where the aircraft is pointed just off of north. So we're going to go ahead and bring our spotlight to the west. You can see it there on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. It came around. And we're going to go ahead and lower the spotlight just a little bit. Now, when I rotate the aircraft, yep, we forgot to hit the lock button. We forgot to hit the lock button. So you can see that rotates with the aircraft. So if you're orbiting somewhere and we put it right off the side, I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. When we keep turning, that spotlight's going to stay right where it was as we turn. Now, if we go back inside and we hit that lock button, so we're going to go ahead and rotate it over to west, and we're going to hit the lock button. Now, as the aircraft turns, that spotlight's going to keep going right back to wherever we locked it. Alright, look at that. How awesome is that? We'll bring it back to the north, and it spins around, which means you can go ahead and set up a specific position for your spotlight to be pointed at. And then while your spotlight's pointed at that, you have it on lock. You can go ahead and orbit your target. So if we put it out here, okay, we got it off to the west there. We start orbiting that target, so we turn and we come over here. Look, it's going to keep pointing towards the west as we keep spinning around and moving the aircraft. That spotlight's going to keep pointing to the west. Alright, so that is the spotlight control. And there it goes back again. So that is the spotlight and the screen controls here, okay? So you can go ahead and keep changing those. They work in mouse look. There we go. We can bring it around to the north. It tells you exactly where it is. Sorry, south. Okay. North button doesn't work. Okay. That's just for look. So then we can go ahead and turn lock off, and we can go ahead and turn off that. So those are our two screens that we have up here. Next, we're going to talk about the weapon system. We're going to go ahead and bring it back today. Our weapon tactical system right here. That's this box right here. It says Kelly's Tactical Systems on it. First thing you do is power the box. Once the box is powered, you'll see all the lights come on. You have to disengage the safety, because we don't want to be dropping smoke grenades and flashbangs on people without meaning to. So once you disengage the safety, any light that is green, that's telling us that there is something loaded into that system, alright? We already know that the first one's a flashbang, then we have tear gas, and then the rest are smoke. So what we're going to do is we're going to position our camera so we can see the boss is hiding down there. We're going to go ahead and drop some flashbangs on her. So the first thing I'm going to do is drop a flashbang. All you do is click it. Once you click it, you can see the flashbang drops out and deploys. Remember, that is an RP flashbang, so it's not going to blind people and everything. It is for roleplay purposes, but we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Next, I'll drop the tear gas. As the tear gas goes down, you can see it rolls off and it begins to deploy. There's our tear gas deploying out right there. And the last one we're going to talk about is smoke. Smoke is, we got smoke loaded into the last 4, so we're going to pop off number 6. We know that there's smoke in number 6, so there it goes. It hits the ground, it rolls, and smoke deploys. Look at that. And there goes the smoke grenade. Remember, you have to come back, you have to land, and then you can refill your 6 slots. Okay, and if we go ahead and put the safety back on, now we can see that there are nothing loaded in these 3. Get the safety off. You can see these are yellow because there's nothing there. There's nothing more to deploy. Safety is on. Safety guard is on, so you can't accidentally turn it on. And we can't accidentally deploy one of our grenades by accident. You can go ahead and shut off the system, turn it on, and flight doesn't hurt anything. Now, one of the cool new features, I'm going to go ahead and take a scene out of the movie San Andreas. For those of you who have seen the movie San Andreas, it is incredibly ridiculous when it comes to what they do for helicopter piloting. But we're going to go ahead and steal a scene out of that because it is one of my favorite new features. I'm going to bring the aircraft online. Okay, we're going to do this without a HUD, so bear with me. Engine's coming up. Gyro spinning up. Alright, we're going to leave our doors open for now. I am sitting a little bit lower today, I think. Am I a little low? Yes, I am. Let me back up to my normal avatar sit height. There we go. Engine gauge is green. Alright. I'm slowly going to raise collective. We're going to do this old school style. Nose starts moving, add some pedal. Start raising some more. Oh, we need some more pedal the other way. And we're going to come up off the ground. Come up just a little bit higher. Tail's clear. We're going to go ahead and say for roleplay purposes that there are terrorists in this in the terminal over here. We're going to respond with adequate and appropriate force by deploying a SWAT team. I don't have a SWAT team with me today, but that's where we're going to go ahead and take the scene out of San Andreas. For those of you who've seen it, you know which scene I'm about to talk about. Some of you have seen the aircraft in action already and know exactly what I'm about to do. Don't spoil it for the rest of us. We're going to come over and get into a hover right over top of the terminal. This is by far my favorite new feature of the new Police 135. Cam down. Mouse look, then hit our hover button. Allow the aircraft to come into a stabilized hover. Okay, you all remember when he popped the auto hover button on the in the movie? Well, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna transition to a new seat. We have 2 new seats on the police version. This handle here and this handle here. We want to sit on this side, so we're gonna go ahead and stand up, and we're gonna go ahead and sit right there on that seat. Now that we're sitting on that seat, you can see it's got a really cool animation, so we can hold 6 in the back, 2 on either side, and then 4 in the seats. You say, but JC, what's the point of that? That's not that cool. You get to hang out on the side. See those little bags under the seat? We are on the right side of the helicopter. We're going to deploy the right rope. Look at that. Look at it, goes all the way down to the ground. You guys ready? You ready? JC away! Woo! Okay, if you hold W, you'll fast rope out of the side of the aircraft and all the way down to the ground. Look at that. We have fast roping capabilities, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do that again. We're going to do it out of the right side of the aircraft this time. Get back up there to the right side. Click that bag. Left side. Deploy that rope. Okay, normally you'd be seeing some local text here. Let's go ahead and pop open that local text. See, there you go, left side, rope's detached. And we hit W, and it says we are now in the move position. And we can now hit S to repel. W doesn't do anything. S does repel us out of the aircraft and all the way down to the ground. Look at how awesome that is. This can be used in areas with no res, I believe. We'll have to go ahead and play with that in just a minute. Let's go do that now. We're going to go pop up and we're going to go see how this does in a no res zone. Alright, we're back in. We've taken control over the aircraft. We're going to retract both our ropes. And for this one, we are going to go ahead and put the HUD on. Oops, I just relogged. 135. There's the 135 HUD. APDIS. Autopilot disengaged. Fine control off. Oops. Okay, options, internal menu off, which means now when I click and hold, I don't get a hold of that menu. Closest no res sim is right there, that water sim. Alright, we are in a no-res sim. Activating auto hover. Pop open that side door. We're going to deploy left rope. Oops, sorry, we need to deploy right rope. What you can't see is if the door is closed, you cannot deploy that rope. So we have auto hover on. We got to be quick because there is in fact auto return on this sim. So we're going to stand up real quick and grab that slot. Okay, so if we didn't grab that slot real quick, obviously the aircraft could be returned. And just to show you I wasn't lying, it's build, set for group, and it's a Linden Lab maintenance group. Whee! Which means out I go. And that's about the limit of my rope right there. If you're not on the ground for about that limit of rope, we're going to go ahead and measure that real quick. We're going to go to world. Excuse me, area search. We are approximately 32 meters away from the helicopter. So if you are higher than 32 meters from your location, or whatever you're fast roping people on, they're going to pull this number. Ah, splash. Alright guys, that does conclude all of the new features that are on the 135 police variant. If you do like that video, if you do like that aircraft, please, by all means, you can contact me, you can contact Miss Kelly or Miss Suki if you have some more questions about it. If not, go ahead and just be ready, because that is getting closer and closer to release. So, I hope you do appreciate the video. I hope you do enjoy this aircraft. It is absolutely my favorite of the 3 variants, even of the medical version. And be sure to watch out for that release coming to an airport near you. Have a good day and blue skies, everybody.